Hello and welcome to JC Live. I'm your host, Dwayne Dunleavy, and I'm so excited to be on at all because we had some tech issues the last time and we've worked them out. And that's something that everybody should just keep in mind. When you're doing anything live or on camera, you've got to be able to deal with the craziness sometimes, and sometimes you just reschedule. So I'm so thankful that our guest was able to reschedule. I've been speaking with her for a while now, and I'm so excited. Not only because she is a model and she's in the business, which she's an amazing one at that, but because of who she is as a person. And I've learned that she is an Aries. You guys know I'm into astrology, and Aries are like no bull, if you know what I mean, and they get things done. So it's great to hear all this stuff coming from an Aries. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time, we talk about acting and modeling and tips and fun stuff, fashion, all of this kind of stuff. And if you have joined us before and you are a JC student, you're about to get a lot of great information from someone who's actually living out your dreams. So this is great for everybody. And as usual, all ages, all everything. So let me welcome to our show for the first time from America's Next Top Model Cycle 21. It is Raelia Lewis. Hello, Raelia.
Hi. How you for that
Welcome.
intro? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. And thank you so much for being so patient. If nobody on here had seen when we first tried to do this about a week ago, we had a whole technical breakdown, and you were so patient and kind. And you were like,
Yes.
absolutely, we'll reschedule, no problem. So I've been looking forward to today. And you look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. And of course I'm patient. I'm just into plan. We all need some grace, it's a business. It happens.
Absolutely. So, as you heard in the intro, I was kind of reaching out to the people that are out there, and I even, I try to let people know that what we talk about and stuff is not just for people trying to get into the business. I have always been interested in fashion and modeling, and you can tell when little kids are little. Sometimes they'll grab a magazine and they just like looking at the picture. They like to draw the pictures and all that. That was me. Was that how you were as a kid? Were you all into fashion and stuff?
I was. Came out when I was like 10 or 11. And I was hooked on that. I used to go to companies like John Casablancas and John Robert Powers and like call them and be like, I didn't have a car. I used to look at magazines. I used to scour the internet and print out pictures. Like I draw designs and draw what I thought I would look like in the designs when I grew up. I was immersed. Local talent show, every school talent show, every pageant that was local to me.
Yeah, see, that sounds very Aries. Like once you get passionate about something, it's
Mm.
like don't get in the way of an Aries because you will have a hard time because they need to get their things done.
Yes.
That's great. Now I know that you grew up in Philadelphia, right? And that's where I'm just outside of Philly, and you're in Philly right now. And
Yes.
I've been with JC for 14 years. And you said you actually thought when you were a kid that you might end up going to or wanted to go to the Philadelphia JC. Is that right?
Yes. It just was a dilemma because my mom had 6 children, so she didn't really have the time, and I wasn't sure about the price. So I kind of from afar, but I used to call you guys all the time through the yellow pages. Me and my friend would be like, this was like pre-internet era, I believe. I used to be in the yellow pages, like just imagining like what you guys have and being a part of something that felt like I belonged. Because I also was like, I never felt like I fit in with like my peers. I had a lot of nickname neighborhood, so it was tough being so tall and so thin. And if I had something like you guys, I definitely think it would have been a more immediate like confidence booster.
Yeah, and people don't seem to realize that sometimes that when you are tall and thin, like a lot of models naturally just are born that well. Obviously, all of them are just born that way. Um, that you feel weird kind of. You feel like different from everybody because you're taller than
Yeah.
everybody and you feel kind of spindly, right?
Hmm.
What is that? Because I'm sure there's people out there right now who even maybe are watching this who are like, oh my gosh, I feel that way. And you probably felt like, this is not a good thing, but it turns out, right? It's like actually a good thing.
Yes. So it took me a long time. I will say my mid-20s is where I finally like arrived. What it is, I'm gonna wear my heels. I'm going to embrace it. I remember it was my 11th grade year of high school, and I didn't know I had hit 6 foot. And then a senior said something about my height, and it made me really uncomfortable. I'm really self-conscious, and my mom was like, "You have beautiful legs. Embrace it. You're beautiful." But I would have issues going to like parties as a teen. I would go and just sit there, and I wouldn't stand up because I was afraid. Oh, girl, because that's what people will do to me. Even to this day, people still do things like that to me. I embrace it, and it doesn't bother me because I really feel beautiful in this body. But being tall, I lived for a really long time. All of my sisters were short. All of my best friends were short. My high school friends, I went women, they were short. And so I always struggle with feeling like really girly, but just feeling desirable. Like, what
Yeah.
will my dating life look like? I wear heels. Can I look small like the girls who? Can I look cute like the girls who were small? So when I was walking in the street at like 18, this other tall woman, she said, "Pick your head up." She said, "All that walk with your head up." She was one of the first people that nudged me, where I felt like, okay, she was a black woman and she was confident. She might have been like in her early 30s. So it took me some time. It really did.
Yeah.
After Top Model was when I finally was like, okay, maybe this could take this like a good thing. And that's when I started to kind of just own it.
Yeah, I'll bet being on the set with other people that were all your height and everything and kind of in the
Mm-hmm.
same, place must have felt so good to be like around people that felt the same, right?
I remember when we got to Korea, we went to Seoul, and this was right before I had to like stand like outside, like side by side, and I just was like, I'm doing this, my tribe, my people.
Yeah.
It was a feeling that I still try to these days because it was exhilarating, and that's what the modeling stressed me out a lot. It has
Yeah.
also given me a sense of belonging, and I see beautiful black women who are tall, and I don't feel so alone. I don't feel like, okay, it's cool to look like this. It's a beautiful thing to look like this. It's a gift.
Absolutely, and being a woman of color, you are a role model to so many little kids. And I had spoken to you about even I've had experiences even at JC where I've had little African American kids, specifically a little girl with very dark skin, and she was beautiful, gorgeous. And after we did our makeup class, she went out and got makeup that I would wear, like very light concealer and all this stuff. And I thought, wow, she really in her mind thought, that's what I'm supposed to do. So I said, no, you go and get the color that matches your skin. And she says, but no, I want to be lighter. And that's what got me. I was like, oh, she didn't even make a mistake. She really thought that for her to be pretty, she had to be lighter. So it became
Yeah.
my and my coworkers' kind of goal to let her know how beautiful she was. And we really did see a big change in her through the whole time that she was with us. She not only started to understand that from us, but from other kids, other girls with dark skin that really were just naturally confident. And she was like, "Oh, wait a minute, like, what am I doing?" So she gained. Do you see? Did you see any kind of like situations like that as you were coming up in the in your life?
I think that representation is so important. Just seeing other people do what you're doing. For me, I'm not dark skinned. I'm a black woman, but I'm not dark skinned. But I think that when you step outside, that's when you either learn there's something wrong with you or learn that what you have is good. Sometimes don't big you up. Don't tell you that you're beautiful, right? Because your parents normally are like the first words. I don't know where a woman who struggle with like colorism, like what their trigger is per se. Entertainment. If you look at movies, especially during like the early 2000s and the 90s era, a lot of dark skinned women do anything beautiful when it came to love interest in movies. Girl and other like huge beauty brands, you only saw a woman that looked like myself, that looked like say knows really be celebrated and really be included, at that table. So I think the lack of representation makes young girls who don't fit that like spectrum or don't check all those boxes, there's not enough inclusivity. The good thing about the times we are in today is that we are more brands like Fenty Beauty and other brands who are making like more shades and who are hiring like beautiful black models. But I always say we still have a long way to go. But I just think that a lot of times, especially in the black, what rappers like, when we look at what athletes like, we kind of form, I guess, our level of effectiveness is based on that. It's cultural. It really is cultural. It's not always, it didn't stem from racism, but a lot of what we believe about what it means to be a black beautiful woman. And I think that because we have been conditioned to think that dark skin isn't beautiful or as beautiful within our within our community, and it's something that we have to continue to work at intentionally to be such a nuanced and layered conversation, because people won't always admit that they're colorist. Their differences can be rooted in like anti-blackness and colorism. So it's that you and what you're doing to see these little girls and really tell them like I think that some people don't know what it feels like to even hear those words. From the people who they don't know, could make so much difference in their life.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like you said, things are getting better. We do have some representation. People like Alec Weck, one of my favorite models. She's an African dark-skinned model who has been on every runway, Ralph Lauren, Prada's, Louis Vuitton, all these things. And she just makes everything look amazing. She's so elegant. There's so many people now. It was crazy 20, 30 years ago to think that the only image of beauty was like this very small little thing. And now it's so broad. We're so lucky to live in the time that we do, right?
Yeah, because looking back, I don't know about if I didn't look the way I look.
Yeah.
Because I saw Tyra and was like, I saw someone who looked like me and was like, okay, I can rock that. If I was dark skinned, like I could do that,
Yeah.
And that's why representation matters.
Absolutely. And now you are representing, you are in the public eye and so, out there for so many people. Now, speaking about America's Next Top Model, what was it like for you to go through that process? And what was it like working with Tyra?
Oh my God. So it was very treacherous in ways as well. It was definitely a lot of adversity. Model was a dream I had since I probably was like 10, 11. I remember when I saw Eva pick first scene, probably was like 12 at that time. I'm like, I'm going to do that. So when I got of age, I turned 18. I started, this is when they would do like the nation or citywide tours or wherever, where they would come from city to city, almost like what I used to do. And they would audition the local talent. And I auditioned at 18. I made it pretty far. Okay, we're going to send you out contracts. If you make it, get your passport. So I thought I made it. And so I was really down about that because I felt like it was my only chance. And I don't know why I was 18, but I thought that I should have gotten it at 18. So I was really down about it at 19, and I didn't hear anything back. I tried to get it at 20. I didn't hear anything back. So it just was Naomi Campbell's show. And another girl from Philly actually made it. Her name is Sandra. So I was like, maybe the Top Model reality TV show thing.
JC girl too.
Full circle moment. So I was like, I was thinking like maybe that just wasn't my path. I just kept focusing on continuing to create. I would shoot my portfolio over. I would try to network. I would do Philly Fashion Week, any local fashion show I could be a part of. I just came, social media came about, so I started to utilize like MySpace and Facebook to show my pictures. And then when Instagram came around, I think I was about 22 at this time. A girl I went to high school for top model, and they said they were looking for some people for their new 21st cycle. And I wasn't really feeling it because I had got rejected like 4 or 5 times. If you remember, I'm a server in the city right now. I'm still feeling good about modeling, but not like reality. I was really like, I don't know, but the Aries, right? I'm gonna send it in and just not check my forget it. I still do that. I'm gonna just forget about it, but I'm gonna just do it. And I did it, and I was like, oh wow. Got the call. They really like my personality. They want. I did the Skype. They love my personality even more. And then it became about, okay, we really citywide tour now. We're not going from city to city. So you have to get to LA on your own. Terrified. I had just went, but I had never been alone. And I didn't really have the money then. But I took a chance. I said, you know what? You live once. And I auditioned with no promise in sight. And when I tell you everything went wrong, I feel like when you're close to something, everything falls apart. It fell apart during that audition. I mean, I got there and the hotel charged my card twice to get to the audition. I had nothing to eat. I'm panicking. I'm freaking out in the lobby. Was like, I'll just give you cash and just when it will charge back later, But it was just like, and I remember walking into the convention center in LA, like, this is your shot. Get this,
Oh my
when
God.
I went in there, I twerked. I had fun. I wouldn't allow the nerves to show. I just went for it. That Aries, like you said, I went for it. I seized the moment. I was getting a call at like 2 a.m. telling me I was a finalist for casting. It was just, everything just happened so fast after that. Like, it was amazing. I felt like when it got to my cycle, she was less involved because I felt like she wasn't as hands-on as I thought she would be like the previous cycles. Died a lot and was like, hey, don't talk to me, just do what you're told to do, that kind of thing. But I was just happy to be there. There's a lot that went on behind the scenes that affected me as far as emotionally and mentally. But there was also like so many great moments. I had a really hard time dealing with the pressure. Not eat all day and then only eat at night. And I wound up losing 20 pounds while filming. The show was so unpredictable. I was on edge all the time. Am I going home this week? I'm type A, so I'm freaking out about like making sure I nail this, making sure I win. And I took it too, drove myself up a wall. But I had a lot of great moments too. It was like filming certain challenges. I had been in the cast, being with the castmates, and when we weren't working, we would just dance and really bond when the cameras were off. So, and then I lived in like the hills, and and it was just like a once in a lifetime kind of experience. I got to be on television, root for me. I got to go to Korea, so it was definitely something that I would do again differently. I would be more present. I would have more fun. I would let go of what I can and just be in the moment, because it's a moment and it does go by quick.
And if anybody viewing, I'm sure many people who are watching us now saw your cycle, including myself. They saw that you actually had a friendship during the show, which I found to be a huge part of the show, even apart from the modeling, right?
Yes. Will was my ace boom. Cool with a lot of the contestants, but me and Will just had a connection, man. I don't know when it started, but it started definitely before we got into the house. I didn't really like gel with any of the girls. They would put us in like these rooms and like a very like this, and we had to kind of like filter our way and like work the room. And I guess they were trying to gauge our personalities and like who would stand out, and they were really deciding who would make the house based off of those like interactions. Me and Will just connected, and we just were like, it was like so organic, like it wasn't for TV. So genuine. We talked about our families, we talked about our plans, We were both like super duper tall. We love to dance. We love to twerk. He's actually a professional dancer. So we connected. He was one of the most loving and like free spirited people I have ever met. You know, like I was kind of like finding each other, and me just being like, you know,
Yeah.
he came and rescued me. And then after that, I made like a bunch of friends. But at first, I was definitely like on my A game, like just come in, get it done, take it seriously,
Yeah.
and win. It's a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, that was really great. And, you know, of course, the first thing I did was go up and look at what your sign was and what his sign was. And he's a Leo, you're an Aries, I'm a Sagittarius. So we represent the 3 fire signs. So
Mm-hmm.
that's probably why you connected so well. We actually, I've reached out to him once, but not you know, in a while, because I really would love to have him on and talk with you too about his experience and, you know, you two together. But I saw that he's a Leo and he seems to be very busy. He's got married and, you know, all this stuff.
Yes, been raising him on like $1 million. Like he has been
Yeah.
really having the time of his life. He's a fire sign. My boyfriend is actually a Leo. Me and
Ah,
Will never had we never had a disagreement. I remember a time we ever had a fight, and I am fiery, you know, and me and him just never had an interaction that was like negative or like intense. Like,
yeah.
like love and just fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, some of the things that one of the things I had asked you to do in the first one was to give us some ideas of some outfits, because, you know, apart from just modeling, I mean, this whole business is about fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and some people just like to see what some outfits, you know, and my previous
Yeah.
show that I did last month, I did a capsule wardrobe, and I'm going to do another one for winter coming up soon. But so you got together some outfits and did some home shots. Now,
Yes.
the other part of these outfits that I want people to keep in mind, especially if you're a JC student, is that there's no reason you shouldn't be doing like little fashion shows at home and taking pictures of yourself. And you don't even necessarily need to put it out on social media just to see your own angles. Like as a model, don't you think that
Correct.
it's so helpful to see yourself?
Yes, I know my best side. My best side is this side of my face. Works. I know my chin works better a little up versus down. And you learn that by being in the selfies, by being on sets, and really learning, okay, where do I look my best? So because if you don't get in front of a camera, when you finally get a job or finally get that camera on, you ain't gonna know what to do. You're gonna
Exactly. You
literally
gotta
freeze up, and
find everything.
you're gonna look like you don't know what you're doing. And people are really
Yeah.
hard on models that are new. My friends call me and are always just like ripping models apart. Like her eyes were dead. She know where her light was. So
Yeah.
it's always just good to just practice. Of course, but use your cell phone, set up your lights, like really
Mhm.
learn how you make you look your best, because you could get scouted on social media. I've gotten scouted on social media.
Yeah.
So your pictures do matter.
Yeah, definitely, and I keep telling these people, especially when they're really pretty young people, I'm like, "You can't wait for anybody to do anything for you in this business. You gotta do it all
Mm-mm.
yourself or
Mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna do it." So, well, let's take a look at some of these outfits. So let's look at the first one and, tell us a little bit about this outfit.
Okay, so this might be my birthday dress, y'all. Probably
Oh,
before the pandemic, and I just always felt like it was just too much to. And my birthday was right when the pandemic started. It was in March, so I wasn't gonna be there. But I saw this in my closet the other day, and I'm like, I really need to wear this dress. It's really cool. I love to show my silhouette, my frame, and I love sparkles. Like I'm real extra. People should see you coming. You know, listen, and I love feathers. And this dress has like sparklings, it has
oh, yeah.
feathers, so it has everything that I love. So I'm definitely birthday. We'll see, because I kind of get a little over the top. But maybe I'll have more than one where it is.
It's so great. It's such a great color and
Thank
everything. It's
you.
just so cool. How about this one? Now, this one's awesome. Like, I could see you out dancing at a party, like,
Yes. I
That's so good.
actually
It
got
has a
it from
tropical
my
feel.
niece. It's beautiful. I got it from my niece. It's glittery all over your
Mhm.
body, but it's like so form fitting and it's so beautiful. My niece has a store, like
Huh.
curated pieces. She's 20. She's about to be
Oh,
20.
wow.
So I got this from her. I still haven't worn it, and I'm thinking maybe New Year's because it gives me
Ooh.
that vibe. I could do like a nice silver boot. I could do a cute open toe sandal. You know, you can go a lot of, and I'm definitely gonna wear fur because in Philly it will be cold on New Year's.
I was
But
gonna
it's definitely,
say.
oh yeah, I don't mind a little cold because if I'm cute, I'm okay. But I'll definitely wear fur like a disco ball, and I feel like that's like the perfect vibe for like New Year's, right?
Absolutely, it's so cool, and with a fur coat over it and an amazing boot, like, I could just see everybody's heads are
Yes,
gonna turn. And then you take it all off and you dance with that and, I mean, just be amazing. So, awesome,
I
that's a
know
great.
it is gorgeous.
Let's look at this one. I love this one. This one is so, like, it's
Same
like
here.
20s, like the 1920s, right?
Yeah, so this of course was Halloween. Halloween just passed. You know, we had to reschedule do these, but this is like definitely like a look I planned for Halloween. The Flapper Girl, the 1920s off Amazon. The dress probably Sheen, I think the company's website name is.
Mhm.
You know, I'm very
So
festive. Any
cute.
holiday is fun for me, so I celebrate everything.
It's so great. Yeah, it's just a fun reason to get dressed up anything, right? Like, I love to do that too.
Yes.
And then this one for a pop of color, like, oh my gosh, this one's giving me Whitney Houston vibes, like Whitney in 1988 or something, you know?
I love it. I have not worn this dress. I have two in my closet, not moving. I got this dress months ago. I love anything that is like and poofy. I love big sleeves.
Yeah.
I love a statement. This dress is giving me like or my anniversary, which is in March. You know, that's
Oh.
when I plan to like really enjoying my life. And this dress is like I feel like it's really dressy. Night dress. It could be a good girl's dress, like girls' night dress. You can
Yeah.
do so much. You could, you know, I'm just more sparkly, so I wouldn't do this for my birthday. But I could totally do it for my birthday. It's gorgeous and it fits really, really well. I'm not wearing a bra, and look, the girls are sitting.
It's so beautiful, and the puffy sleeves just really emphasizes your arms and your figure and everything is just so amazing,
Thank you.
and some people don't realize that it's not that hard to create something that can get a lot of attention, but that isn't overdone, like, this is very simple, but it gets a lot of, like, a lot of energy from it, you know what I mean? So,
Yes,
it's amazing.
it's a definite statement piece, and I probably paid $20 for this dress. I think
Wow.
every dress series was like under $100. The most expensive one was the first one, but this one was probably like teen. You know, like
Wow.
so you can look good on a budget. You can.
Now that's a huge point I'm always trying to make, especially people just getting into the business. Like when you have to do a lot of photos, or if you're doing photo shoots for social media and stuff, there's really no reason to go out and spend lots of money because thrift stores are everywhere. And depending on where you go, you can really get some really amazing things, but you have to check it out. But
Yes.
what's your experience? Because I know some people, grow up with this feeling of like, I'm not going to wear other people's clothing. But then when you do it, you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is pretty amazing.
So I grew up being like I'm never, and then I became a model and a content creator. And when you're a model, even when you get the apps, there could still be slow seasons. There could be different adversities. You may have to keep moving. You still have to keep oiling like your engines. So if I'm not working, if doing what I want to do, I have to create value for myself. So I use social media, which means I have to do content. I call my friend who's a photographer. Yo, I got an idea. I want to do something like this, and they may not be looking at me. They may not think the client may not see me for that job. But if I were to be online, if I wear something beautiful and regal online, I could convince like that. So that's my motive a lot of the time. That's how I play the game. Is I create the social media to showcase it. And when it comes to wardrobe, you can run up a ring to always have new clothes. Some pictures ain't gonna do too well. Some pictures not gonna get theirs, and you'll get really discouraged, and you can probably go broke trying to always have like. I had to get innovative and creative, and I had to say, you know what, I might gotta go to some thrift stores and find some affordable things to help me still look great, help my pockets. So that's what made me get into like the thrift store vibe. At first, I did my closet, and I was like, I need more. Because when you're a model and you're trying to stand out, you don't always want pieces that look so like wearable.
Yeah.
Meaning like every day. You may have to be a little leather look with some leather thigh-high boots and a leather trench. And you may not ever wear this together outside. Perfect picture to sell that imagery. You have to have some pieces of the whole networking thing. I try to like be cool with stylists and pull from them, and you'll get let them. So you have to learn how to do things yourself. I can do everything myself. I can build. I ship my own products. I'm an entrepreneur. I can do my own hair. I can do my own makeup. I can style my because as a Black woman, as a Black model, we're really marginalized. So we don't have, and you can't just sit on your hands and wait for somebody to come save you. Like, no one's going to do that. Okay, what can I do with what I have? And how do I make this effective? To play and learning my angles. Eventually, I was able to get my own equipment, my own computer, my own cameras, my own everything. I have tripods and lights. I have everything a photographer has too. And it's not because I wanted to become a photographer and I wanted to shoot direction. You know, when I got told no, I said, well, I'm gonna still get it done. I just gotta do it myself.
Right.
There's a lot of having to reinvent yourself and having to constantly, even when you feel like you've arrived, you still have to invest in yourself. And the best way to save is cut out the team, cut out the stylist, take it back to the roots, go to the amazing dope pieces, and put them on and shoot.
Yeah, and I find one of the benefits I find of thrift store stuff is that you can actually get stuff that's bigger than what you wear and clip it in the back like they do in real shoots for magazines and stuff. Like, you're not limited to anything, you know? In fact, I think it's funny because you and I talked for a few minutes before we started the show today, and both of us, what we're wearing is from the thrift store, and then I ended up telling you that my background is new, and this is from the thrift store too. It's beautiful gold curtains I got at the thrift store for like $12. So hopefully that's a good example to anybody watching that you can do everything you need to at home, and don't worry about things being perfect. Just the fact that you put the effort toward it and you show some type of diversity or ability, somebody could see that and think, wow, this person's really passionate about what they're doing. Let's, give them an opportunity. So, and you just explained it perfectly. You've got all the stuff that a photographer has, not because you want to be a photographer, but because you need to do that, right?
Yeah, and you have to start somewhere. So don't feel pressure to like have it on Aries. Put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have it all together, right?
Yeah.
You have to get started with your cell phone. Then I got a digital camera, and I graduated. I didn't go to studio. I graduated. I had to learn how to use a camera first. I had to learn what a light was and what a shoot is and all that.
Right.
It took time, but I learned because I knew I needed it to get. And I just knew no one was coming to save me. And this was after Top Model that I was like, oh, well, I guess you got to learn how to do everything. I guess you got to, and that's what I did, and it helped me. So I booked Starbucks recently because we had to do like an at-home submission, and I took the pictures with my professional camera and I booked a job, so over time you'll see how your gifts will make room for you. Continue to push forward and learn and cultivate, different times. You are not really at anyone else's disposal, and then you create more opportunity and more value for you. It's not just a one-trick pony. You can do so many different things.
Yeah, and that's a part of, nowadays, 20 years ago, that wasn't even on the table. There was no social media.
Yeah.
Models didn't have anything else to do other than get photos and offer photos to people and get jobs. Now, you're expected to have all different skills. And even as a model, because some people come into this thinking that you can just be quiet for the rest of your life as a model. It's like,
Mm-mm.
no, they're coming backstage and asking, what's it like to be a model? Right? You have to actually be able to speak on camera too.
Yeah, and personality has gotten me jobs. I booked the district in Center City when it first
Mhm.
opened, the big campaign, and I got the job. Smiled, and I immediately knew you were perfect for the job. And something so small as everything, because it could just show, your eyes are the windows to your soul. It could just of you.
Mhm.
It can show how you're relatable. It can show how likable you are. So this boisterous personality like me, of course, right? But just knowing how to just come off it and be kind, it can really make all the difference.
Yeah.
I have so many different strategies. Sometimes I go shopping. I'm like, I
Mhm.
need this like French vibe. I go cool. You walk into certain auditions or casting, you sometimes your outfit can help your hair. Sometimes your personality. One time it was me being an Aries. I booked Mary designer. She worked with Beyonce and a ton of other celebrities, and I booked her in Miami because I was an Aries. She asked me, "What's your sign?" Aries. She was like, "Audition." That wasn't audition. That wasn't audition that I had from my actual agent. I
Mhm.
saw the other models too. It was like the biggest show in Miami at that time. So you'll be surprised that would be the reason why you book a job. So it's good to kind of be prepared, be yourself, fix. Don't focus on having a bunch of money or just your best. I'm telling you, no one really knows what they're doing. We
Right.
figure it out as we go.
Yeah, people kind of fake it till they make it, which I think is a great
Hmm.
thing because that means, I mean, you have to act like you know what you're doing, even if you don't. You got to have some confidence. Or why? I always tell people, why would anybody pay anybody to be on anything? Oh, that's okay. Yeah, why would anybody pay you to model if you couldn't give them something on set, right? Oh, are you? Let's see. Oh, I think it went out. Can you hear me? No? Alright. We're gonna get going anyway. Actually, we're at the time. Wait, let me see if I can turn it off and on again. Is that better? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, good. Well, I'm good. Oh, we can't hear you. But you know what? We're at the end of our time anyway, so I'll say thank you so much for being here. And we made it all the way to the end without having a tech issue until now, so we're pretty good. And you are such an amazing person. I really want to speak to you again and have you on again and do some more things because I'm sure that anybody watching this or who will watch this is just going to get so much great information and such a great energy from you. So thank you so much for being here. And I will look forward to having you again and seeing you soon. Thanks so much, Raelia. Oh my gosh, you guys, how amazing that I had Raelia Lewis from America's Next Top Model, Cycle 21. We made it all the way to the end and then we lost her sound, but she's such a great person and such a champ with getting through these things. So thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe and like. Next time I'm going to have a winter wardrobe, capsule wardrobe that I'm going to show to everybody and we're going to have a great time. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.